Anime for blondes.
His girl's missing, and he's on a mission to go get his girl back.
Would Jinshi put on music while he's going to rescue Maomao?
Action!
Hello, I'm Becca.
And I'm Allie.
And welcome to
Anime for Blondes, the girly pop podcast made for girls, gays, theys, and blondes.
The blondes is crucial.
And today we're talking about Apothecary Diaries episode 40.
That's crazy.
That's so many episodes.
Like, we've reached a big mile marker.
Yeah, we have.
Which, that reminds me of the freaking marathoners as I was on my way over here.
Yeah, there's a marathon going on today. We woke up to some people screaming in the street. It was awesome.
Oh.
They're cheering their friends on.
Yeah.
It's nice.
It is nice. It did make my phone maps tell me when I was like probably 5-10 minutes away from your house. It was like, and 30 more minutes to get there. I was like, there's no way. So then I just took the city streets like I normally would, and it was fine.
And it was fine. So yeah, today we're talking about Apothecary Diaries, and this episode, so much happened.
Oh my gosh.
The drama.
In the blink of an eye.
Like, obviously we knew, like, the plot was, like, ramping up, but this suddenly turned into, like, an actual, like, crime drama.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and like, first things first, before we even get into anything, nobody is doing pacing like Apothecary Diaries.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like,
all these other anime that I watch, 20 minutes it feels like 20 minutes. Or it feels like longer if the pacing's not good. These episodes, I'm like, not even into them, and it's over. I'm like, oh my god, like, they just have me on the edge of my seat the whole time.
Similar to Solo Leveling. Except Solo Leveling was like breakneck speed.
Yeah.
But these Apothecary Diaries episodes, it's like 20 minutes past, and they fit so much story.
And so much character. And it's not like they're moving super fast. Like, it's very slow stuff happening, and it's just normal, and then you're like, wait, it's over?
Yep. Yeah, a lot of times
Amazing.
The episode ends, and I'm like, what happened?
I'm like, there's no way that was 20 minutes.
But yeah, the pacing is amazing. Like, the plot. Oh, and I just want to say, congratulations, Becca. We got a Becca's Theory Corner.
Yes.
That was, which I didn't even realize when we had discussed it that it was like an actual theory corner. I was thinking of it more of like a fan fiction type corner.
It was like in between. Like, it wasn't like I was like, no, for sure this is what I think will happen. But like, it definitely was like, I could see them doing that, but probably not.
And then it happened.
Like, that is kind of crazy.
So when you said that a Becca's Theory Corner was confirmed, I was like,
you're like, what
could
theories?
It possibly have?
You're like, what theories has she even come up with?
Exactly. I was like, there's no way Jinshi has a sister, because like you said that one time, like a while ago.
I still think that the one girl is his sister.
Which one girl?
The girl that's like the main villain of this episode.
I kind of do too.
His sister or his like aunt or whatever.
I think she's his sister too. I just don't know how logically. Oh wait, no, I do know how logically that would work now. Wait, wow.
Yep.
What a revelation. Okay, so we should start from the beginning. Yeah. I hate to do that, but
I hate to start from the beginning, you guys.
So Maomao and her dad are hanging out at the little doctor's office.
And he's so sweet.
He's so sweet, and he's so smart. Now we see where Maomao gets her, like, resourcefulness, because he's not trying to make money or anything. He's just making good use of the resources and trying to do good.
Yep. She gets her boss babe from her mom.
Yeah.
And then she gets her, like, resourcefulness, smartness, like, intelligence from her dad.
Yeah, exactly. And then she gets her, like, psychotic tendencies from her biological dad.
Of course, yes. Nature versus nurture.
And I just remembered he's in this episode, too.
He is.
Okay.
Which, definitely a very interesting.
And it's because he's scheming.
Yeah, he is scheming.
He was plotting there.
So we start out, and Maomao has the hairpin.
Yes, she was searching for it, and she found it.
And I'm like, oh my god, this episode's gonna be all about the hairpin.
And it's not.
Nope.
No, not even. But we know she has it on her, which is important.
True.
Because as we've seen, it can, in theory, be used as a weapon.
True. Wait, I didn't actually even put that together. Okay, that's genius.
And
Thank God.
that's why they showed her having it on her person and deciding not to wear it, so it's hidden on her. And then it shows the other girl using it as a weapon later on, like a different hairpin as a weapon, being like, okay, so this is what this can be used as.
Oh my gosh, I did not even connect that.
This show's genius.
This show is so genius, and this is like a little bit reading into things, but I'm like, what if that's like also possibly why Jinshi was like, just wear it,
maybe that'd be crazy,
because it seems like maybe he got shot at before, so maybe he's a little worried. He's like, that's a little going on. He knows a little bit more about what's happening. He's like, just keep it on you just in case.
And part of the motivation for telling Maomao everything is so that they can potentially use her for some political shenanigans. So another motivation.
And also so he can fully protect her.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, because if she has his hairpin on her, then everyone will be like, oh, I can't fuck with her. Oh, okay, guys, there's so many layers. The show is so good. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh. And okay, so this one, not really much meaning, but she does show that last time she wore it, all the girls were like teasing her. And nosy.
They're like, oh my God, that's Jinshi's hairpin that he gave you? What does this mean?
Do they all know? They're all just like trying their best. It's like when you have friends that like each other and they like won't admit it to anybody, even themselves, and you're like, please.
Yeah.
Please.
Her lady, or like her like work friends are like us.
Yep.
So her dad, this is important to the plot, actually. It's not just showing us what he's up to while he's waiting for the concubines to give birth. He has made a note of things that could be harmful in the rear palace and things that he's concerned about. He's writing out a note in very like simple language that people who are still learning to read can understand. And he apparently has very nice handwriting that people have been copying or like using to learn penmanship for years. So, and he is like, he asks the doctor, and they said his actual name.
Oh no,
he addressed him by his actual name, and I missed it. I think it starts with a G. It's very short. No. It's very simple. And I was like, oh, he does have a name. And I was like, oh, it's nice that he's calling him by his name.
He's such a sweet guy.
He's like, because his family makes paper that we learned earlier in the season. So he's like, so can I get some scraps of paper at a discount? Maomao, take this to the school and have them use it to practice their penmanship, which is something he used to do. And then they're both learning the message and making copies of it to be distributed around the palace for free. And getting paper at a discount. So like,
yeah, he's like, can we have like the smaller paper that you'd be recycling into like more paper? And the guy's like, yeah, I guess at a discounted price too. Yeah. Like, he's so resourceful and smart.
I think he'd have to be like a Capricorn moon, not a sun. But like it's in there.
He needs a more empathetic sun.
Cancer.
Ooh, but Cancer men are scary.
Virgo men are scary.
Virgo men are scary. Cancer men are scary.
Did you guys see that guy who was dating his girlfriend and lied about his birthday? He said he was an Aries, but he wasn't. He was a Virgo, and he lied because she wouldn't date him if he was a Virgo.
That is such a deal breaker.
That's so scary.
Like, that's literally Virgo man behavior.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's like, you just proved our point, actually.
Like, that's unbelievable.
Anyways, so
if you're gonna think a girl's crazy for wanting to know your zodiac sign, just don't date her.
Yeah, just don't date her. But like, lying about your birthday is way crazier than not wanting to date someone.
Lying about your zodiac sign to be with someone is way crazier than someone believing in astrology. And like asking what your sign is.
Because then his birthday came around, because he was like, I'm an Aries. His birthday came around and he's like, it's not my birthday. That's so scary.
That is terrifying.
Anyways, that's neither here nor there. I was just like, that is such a Virgo man behavior.
Maybe he's like...
Sorry, I keep wanting to say like, he's probably an Aquarius, actually.
He could actually be an Aquarius. I feel like Jinshi could be an Aquarius. I don't know why. I can't put my finger on it.
I personally think Jinshi's a Libra.
Okay. Crazy that you think he's a Libra and I think he's an Aquarius.
Wait, that's... Yeah, I wonder why we think that.
Do you think that maybe has something to do with you being a Libra and me being an Aquarius?
No, it's unrelated. Okay, it's just that we know that, like, Aquarians and Libras are both, like, intelligent and charismatic. and pretty.
So true.
Yeah.
Gorgeous, glowing all the time.
Sparkly.
Really, like, logical and, like, just understanding, empathetic.
Exactly. Vote for us for Emperor.
For Emperor, yes. And there is definitely voting.
Well, anyways. Okay. So she says, yes, I will take this. I will also take this, like, disinfectant for the Jade Pavilion and also... No. Yes. Was she going to give it to the Crystal Pavilion or the Jade Pavilion? The disinfectant.
No idea.
Okay, well, she was going to take medicine also to Lady Kyokyo because she's been getting fatigued a lot because it's late in her pregnancy.
Yes.
Oh, and when she opens up that, like, the apothecary cabinets, there's some kind of herb inside that makes the cat go crazy. And that's also going to be important because Maomao also has that on her.
Oh, okay.
Or I suspect that'll be important. I don't know for sure. I'm just assuming that everything they're showing us is important. It's like they're animating this for a reason.
Yeah.
So she goes to the school, she delivers the note. And the teacher tells her, hey, this is your father's handwriting. I recognize it. And she's like, yeah, he's here right now to like help with the births. And he says, like, we used to practice his handwriting, or like he did this before actually, and his notes and concerns are very similar. These are like, you know, it's like the information that goes on a drug bottle. It's like, don't drink alcohol if you're taking this and blah, blah, blah. So it's like things like, don't pick these plants. Here's...
Stay away from these specific herbs if you're pregnant. Like, stuff like that.
Yeah. And she's like, he probably meant that in a well-meaning way, which obviously he does. Because, like, the whole point of the rear palace is to, like, get as many women pregnant as possible.
Yeah.
So it's well-meaning, but she was like, but people with bad intentions can use this. And she was like, wait a second.
And she's like, okay, if he used to do this, who would have still been here from when he originally would have done it?
Because he hasn't been here for a while, so that information hasn't been circulating since then.
So any newer people within the past, like, what did she say, like 20 years?
Yeah, 20 years. They wouldn't know this unless they got it from someone who's been there longer.
And as we know, the terms are relatively short. Our girly,
her term's
Xiaoling,
ending.
Is that her name?
Xiaolin
is about to be done with her term. So there's usually a good amount of turnaround.
The turnover rate.
Yeah. And so she's like, who has been here for 20 years?
And she thinks about it, and it's the older women who run the clinic.
Yep.
And
Which is crazy because I did not really think that clinic was going to end up being a big issue.
I thought it was going to be, like, an issue for, like, feminist reasons.
Exactly.
Like we need more doctors. These women
But I did not see this coming.
No, me neither.
And it really is so interesting. Now I'm looking back, and I'm like, wow, they really have shown us so many things. Like, nothing they have done has just been, like, for funsies.
No, exactly. If they're taking the time to animate something in this show, it's because it's important. Unlike Solo Leveling, where they'll just, like, animate him loosening his tie in a very detailed manner.
Which... also valid.
No, it's valid. It's just like they didn't have to do that.
No, it's an Easter egg for the future for sure.
So, yeah, and she realizes that. So she goes to visit the clinic. She's like, okay, I just need to like check on these suspicions because she's like, okay, obviously I know that Lady Liwa's cousin tried to cause an abortion or miscarriage by using these scents. Which means she had to have gotten the information from somewhere. So now her list of suspects of where she could get that information, very narrow. So now she's trying to go investigate it. And she's being really subtle, and she would have gotten away with it. She would have gotten out of there, but she's presents the disinfectant as like her reason to visit. And the old lady's like, all right, let's have some tea. Let's chat. And they're chatting, and she's like, yeah, I've been here a long time. I came here as a 10-year-old girl.
Jeez.
And we weren't allowed to leave because once the emperor touches you, you're a concubine and you can't leave.
Wait, so is that her daughter? Do you
I
think?
don't know if it's her daughter. No, it's not her daughter. It's the daughter of the... Okay, if she and Jinshi are siblings, It's the daughter of the woman who the emperor got pregnant a while ago, and then he denied that he was her father.
That's why I'm wondering if this is her.
I don't think so. No,
Why couldn't it be?
Because I thought that was the lady who told the stories. I thought it was the lady who told the stories' daughter that got rejected. The lady who told the stories?
I know who you're talking about.
I thought it was her daughter. Or I thought it was her. And her daughter was the one who was rejected by the emperor.
I don't know.
I mean, none of this is confirmed.
Yeah.
All of this is speculation.
But that would explain why she's harboring her.
Well, Maomao realizes she's harboring her or doing this for another reason too. It's just general resentment to the concubines and to the former emperor and like the whole situation.
But wouldn't she have that if she was in that situation?
She would have that regardless because she wasn't allowed to leave because there was no one waiting for them. You know, they came in as 10-year-olds and weren't allowed to leave because the previous emperor deflowered them. Mm-hmm. And so now they have like nothing outside of the rear palace. I think that's enough of a motivation to
I think so
resentment.
too. It just wouldn't surprise me if there was also
yeah. I don't think it would surprise
that more
me
direct
either.
connection.
I guess I had already made up in my mind that that the lady who was telling the stories is the one who had the daughter with the emperor, and then the emperor was like, nope, that's not mine.
But you thought that she was the daughter.
I did.
So do you think that that's the daughter or the mom?
The one who told the stories?
Yeah.
The mom.
Because you thought that she was the daughter of the mom because the mom, they had said, had died.
Yeah, I did think that, and I don't think that anymore because now I think that... because now I think that Sweet Sire is Jinshi's sister and the daughter that the emperor rejected.
Would she be Jinshi's sister or
Yes.
Jinshi's aunt?
She'd be Jinshi's sister because remember, Jinshi's actually the former emperor's son. No, you're right, aunt.
So,
aunt.
Yeah, it would be like,
Aunt.
because he is the brother.
Yeah.
So she would be his sister, but actually his aunt.
Yeah, yes.
Oh my
his
god.
aunt.
This family tree is...
Yeah, you're right. The aunt.
Okay.
Sister on the record.
Are you guys keeping track of what we're...
We need a chart.
No, literally.
Okay, here, let me just summarize. Let's start from the beginning.
Okay.
Previous emperor has the current emperor son.
Mm-hmm.
Current emperor has Jinshi.
Yes.
And then he's raised as his brother.
Yes.
Previous emperor also has daughter that he rejects.
Illegitimate daughter.
Illegitimate daughter. So, on the record, they'd all three, daughter, Jinshi, and emperor, be siblings.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, since Jinshi's the emperor's son, not his brother, she'd be his aunt.
Yes.
And that's Suire, the girl who comes in.
Yes. So yeah, we're at tea still with this
We're
old
at
lady.
tea, yes.
And
Maomao's
she's
like,
skeptical.
okay, bye.
I'm like, Maomao, you need to be more subtle, first of all.
She doesn't know how to be subtle.
I know. She's trying her best, though. She really is.
She really is.
She's doing, like, the best she has been. But I'm like, girl, you're, like, really... You're on thin ice here. And I also am kind of like, was this... Like, I kind of don't think the old lady was necessarily in the wrong with sharing this info.
So you don't think she necessarily meant it in a...
I think there is a world where she might not be the bad guy. Like, she might not be, like, intentionally malicious.
Mm-hmm.
And that she maybe was providing this information for, like, if they want to have abortions.
Right.
She's actually pro-choice.
Okay.
My queen is pro-choice.
Okay. I think if that were the case, she wouldn't have been like, give this to the head lady in waiting, who I know hates concubine.
Does she know that, though? It doesn't really show that she knows that.
I guess we don't know that.
So I'm like, okay, I feel like they're leaving it open that she could be not necessarily super evil.
Okay.
But we don't know.
We don't know. In Maomao's head, she's evil. In Maomao's head, she did this
Yes.
on purpose because
Our queen is not pro-choice. Maomao is pro-life.
Don't no. It's not.
Maomao is pro-birth.
She's pro. She knows that Lady Liwa wants to have her baby, and
Yes.
so actually wouldn't need this.
Yeah.
and saw that it put her in danger.
But does it hurt her to have the knowledge if she so chose? I thought you were a feminist.
Okay. So there is a world in which
it's just
this is
hard
not
because
malicious.
it's like, I think that it's actually good that they all know this stuff, but
No,
it
it
sucks
is.
that it can be used maliciously.
That's the problem with knowledge. It's like you can use it for good or evil.
With great power comes great responsibility.
So there is a world where she didn't mean it maliciously.
Mm-hmm.
However, Maomao is suspecting that it was malicious, and the fact that this bitch walks in and is like, hey, by the way, you just told her everything and she just figured it all out while you were talking.
That was
so good fucking
funny.
job.
She's like, she's on to you.
She's like, you fucked this up.
Like, that was so funny.
And she walks in and she's like, oh, and I was like, thank you. Like, I knew the second she actually saw her, she'd put it together. Yeah. And she confirmed, yes, she has a limp and like some weird paralyzing stuff because of the medicine.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, you can't kill me here. They'll find you right away. Period. And she's like, I'm not going to kill you here. You're going to come with me because A, I have a captive.
That was crazy.
I was like, whoa, what are you doing here?
I was like, Shisui?
Shisui, yeah. Shisui's been captured. And now my question is she captured as Shisui
exactly.
or is she captured
I was like,
as
we're
a
on
pregnant
to you,
concubine?
Shisui.
Like, we're all on to you.
Dude, and I'm like, Maomao girl, run. Like, just push past her.
No, literally.
Before she pulled Shisui. But before that, I'm like, girl, why are you just standing there?
Yeah. But, and that's when she has the hairpin and is showing us it can be used as a weapon.
Yes.
And she's like, you're going to come with me because A, I have your friend who is coming to get her book because they have the books on bugs and stuff. And also, you're going to come with me because don't you want to know the like...
That was crazy.
Elixir of life? Is that what she said?
I don't know.
What did that's from Solo Leveling. I'm sorry, that's not what that is.
She wanted, like, the ability
the resurrection medicine. Mm-hmm. She's like, damn, I do want that.
That's crazy that she actually just used that. She was like, let me use two different things and one of them will hit. She's like, Shisui, like, she can deal with herself.
They both hit, though. She wants both
do.
those things. She wants her friend safe, and also she remembers that from a while ago because that struck a nerve with her in the first season when she was like, I'm gathering morning glory because I'm going to make this antidote to death.
Exactly.
So, and then that's where it cuts. And
that was crazy.
And now we're with Jinshi.
So, okay, before we move on from this, I want to touch more on the book of Shisui's real quick, because Maomao is looking through the books that the lady has, which also I was like, period, this lady, like, I'm like, I want her to be good because she, like, is just trying to, like she's collecting all these books that women can check out. Like, I'm like, she wants to give knowledge to these women. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, but hopefully she's not using it, like, super for evil like this other girl. Anyway. Mama's looking at the book and it's a bunch of bug diagrams and she's like, oh, this is Shisui's book. And she's like, how would she have this? This is a really nice, expensive book.
She's like, and then she's also like, wait, why is she literate? If she can read, why is she literate? Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
Why can she write so well? Why does she have this book that she can apparently read? Why is it so nice? Why does she know so much about bugs? What's going on here?
Yeah,
so
the
we're
pieces
really
are all coming together. Like, the plot is plotting.
It really is.
The story is becoming like a whole picture, and I'm just. It was a crazy episode.
It was.
It's been a crazy season.
It has been.
So much has happened.
Literally. So yeah, then we move on to, does it go straight to the, like, Imperial Brother?
Yeah, so we see the Imperial Brother sitting at court.
Yep.
And Locken, Maomao's biological father, comes in and is like, hey, I've been investigating, that assassination attempt. Can we have tea and chat about it? And the Imperial Brother is like, yes, I'll have tea with you. Also, Locken invites
another guy.
Is the guy, and I'm pretty sure that's Lolin's father again. Is that not Lolin's father?
Oh, it
again?
might be, actually, yeah.
Okay. So they're like, okay, so we're all gonna go have tea. And while they're at tea, and Jinshi is wearing the covering the whole time.
Mm-hmm. And they're doing the thing where he doesn't talk as the Imperial Brother. He, like, whispers to his side guy, and the guy talks.
Bossen. And, so that's how they're communicating. And Lakan is like, yeah, so we took these Feifas apart and figured out how they work. They use a flint, so you don't have to, like, light it with a match.
Mm-hmm.
If we could mass produce these, it would change everything.
It would change warfare as we know. I'm like, you don't say.
Oh, crazy. Interesting. And then they're like, and then they say something like, we just don't know where they came from, to Lolan's father.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, well, isn't that for you to figure out? Like, why are you asking me? And he's like, I'm just slowly investigating.
He's like, I just wondered if, like, you knew, like, where they came from.
If you had any...
And he's like, well, if I knew that, I would have already told you. And so I'm like,
It's
okay. Something's going on here.
Like,
Lakan's trying to, like, make a point.
And obviously he's a suspect because it was his hunting party that this assassination attempt happened at.
Exactly. And so after he responds that, Lakan's like, yeah, you're right. Anyway, here's my,
here's this game that I played with my wife.
It was Go, right?
Yeah, it was Go. And he starts talking about his wife, and I'm like, Maomao's mother. So, like, after they reunited, they got married.
Did they? Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know that that's actually what happened.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about.
Yay.
They got married, and then obviously Jinshi would know that that's Maomao's mother.
Mm-hmm.
And in my head, I'm like, I feel like he's trying to tell Jinshi something by talking about his wife.
Yeah.
And he's like, look at this game that we played. Like, she's so smart. I did this, so she did this. Like, isn't she a genius? Isn't this such, like, a good game?
Mm-hmm.
And he's yapping. And he's like, okay, I don't want to sit and listen to this, so I'm going to go. He's like, oh, don't worry about it. I'll send you a book describing the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, first of all, Lolan's father doesn't know how to take a hint. Like, this is important information that he's, like, trying to share in a very subtle way.
Well, and it's just, like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, what is he trying to get across?
Mm-hmm.
What is this, like, thing that he's trying to do?
Mm-hmm. And I don't think we fully know yet. But he did discover something. He's like, wait, before you leave, I've got some red wine.
Yeah, and it's, like, made from really great grapes. Like, they're really fresh. And he pours...
And it's green.
It's not red. It's green,
not red.
You guys.
It's green because there are green grapes.
As you might have seen at your local supermarket.
And the Imperial Brother and Bossen look at it and they, like, react. And then the other guy doesn't react. He's like, yeah, it looks really good. I gotta go, though.
Mm-hmm. He tastes it, doesn't he?
I think he tastes it.
He grabs it and he tastes it, and it is grape juice. It is wine.
Yeah.
And so
There's nothing
he tastes
sus
it. He's
going
like,
on.
yeah, that's really good. And he doesn't say anything about the color.
Nope. And as we learned earlier in this season, colorblindness, red and green colorblindness, is a trait that's passed on through the original Imperial Mother's genetics.
Mm-hmm.
So that's important.
Yep.
Which means Lady Lolin would, in theory, also have that gene.
Yes.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
So if she is pregnant and did have a boy, that boy would have that genetic also, potentially.
True. And women can have it too. It's just less common.
Yeah.
Which could end up being relevant sooner rather than later.
Yes.
If she does have that.
Yes.
So.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Guys, this episode's crazy.
I know.
It literally has become anime Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it really has.
Especially now. So the tea ends, and I'm like, it's cute that he's talking about his wife, but also he's little fingering right now.
Yeah, something's going on.
And so they go back, and then the Imperial Brothers is like, can I take this off now? And she takes it off.
And it's Aduo.
And I was like, and it's like, I know that that's not Jinshi's voice, but they are animated exactly the same. They look exactly the fucking same.
No, I was watching and I was like, I was on my mini stepper while I watched. And so I was like kind of to the side of the TV. So I couldn't see it like full on. And I was like listening, I was like, why does Jinshi's voice sound so feminine right now? I was like, is that? And then she turned around and I'm like, okay, that doesn't even help me.
Yeah,
to
that
see
doesn't
her
help,
face
because they
she
look
looks
the
just like
same.
Jinshi. I'm like, okay, it's Ottawa. That's crazy.
It's great. Like, they brought her back. Oh my
I know.
God. Hey, queen, where you been?
I know. I didn't even know that was like a possibility.
Isn't it so funny that she's standing in for her son right now? Isn't
Yes.
that crazy?
No, that's crazy.
And she goes, so where did the Imperial Brother go? Or no. Okay, so they're like, oh, he was talking about his wife. It's crazy to think that Maomao is like their kid. And she's like, oh, and that girl is the reason why Jinshi's busy and gone. So this motherfucker found out that his girl's missing, and he's on a fucking mission to go get his girl back. And I want to point out, we didn't see Jinshi at all this episode, but that presence was felt the whole time, and it's gonna be so... Okay, I'm sorry. I'm picturing, like, a hype, like, rescue mission. Like how we were talking about, like, if you got kidnapped. That's why we were talking about that before.
Yeah. Wait, that's true.
That's why we were talking about that. If we got kidnapped, would our, like, guys listen to, like, music while they're driving to go get us? Would Jinshi. And we were, like, on his horse. Wait, we're about to find out if he's, like, on his horse listening to hype music. Like, what the equivalent is.
Would Jinshi put on music while he's going to rescue Maomao?
And I had been like, no, he'd just be crying.
I think he's locked in.
No, he's locked the fuck in.
I don't think he's crying until after.
No.
I think he finds her, and it's one of those things where, like, a mom loses their child, like, in the mall.
And turns into, like, a mama bear.
Well, you know how, like, when moms, like, lose their kid in the mall, and then they find them, and the kid's, like, scared they're gonna be in trouble, but the mom just, like, is so happy that they found them. I think that's what it's gonna be, and he's just gonna break down and cry once he finds her.
Yeah, once he finds her, he's gonna be sobbing. But until then, he's, like, so focused, nothing's fucking funny. And he's gonna be like, where's my wife?
He's gonna be scary, I think.
Yes.
Like,
the very few times that we've seen him get scary.
That's the thing, is he's usually more, like, feminine coded. And it's usually like, Maomao's the boyfriend, haha. But he really has these moments where you see how much of a man he is.
Yeah.
And this is gonna be one of them.
And I'm so excited.
I know.
Oh yeah, and then it cuts to Maomao, and she's, like, in a dark closet somewhere. And so, things to remember. She has some kind of herb on her, unless she was, like, stripped, but I doubt it. Unless they, like, patted
which
her
is
down.
stupid of them. They wouldn't strip her, but
I just don't feel like they did. Just not because they're stupid, but just for the sake of plot.
Same.
So
she has catnip.
She has catnip or something equivalent. She has the pin that Jinshi gave her. Supposedly they also have Shisui.
Yep.
Also. Lady Oduo is standing in for Jinshi, and Jinshi's going to find her.
Yes.
Oh, I was gonna say Lady Gyokyo is still expecting her, but that's how Jinshi would have found out that she was missing in the first place, unless a note was sent, which actually, it could have been a ransom note, actually.
There could have been a ransom
because
note.
everyone knows that Jinshi cares about Maomao, and if her goal is still to kill him, then that's, like, the perfect setup.
It could be a ransom note, or my theory that the old lady is actually not evil could be true, and she could have reported it.
Maybe.
Because she's the only witness, so.
Yeah. Maybe.
I know that you don't want that, but
I just don't think that's... It's not that I don't want it, I just don't think it's true, given the evidence.
I know, but it could be.
It could be. So, either, like...
I get, like, tough, but, like, good at heart vibes from that old lady, for some reason. And I don't know why, and it was, like, from the beginning. Like, from the first time she went in there, I was like, there's something about this old lady I like. And she's been toughened over the years, but I feel like she wants good for women at the palace.
She probably does want good for women at the palace, but I also feel like she's willing to, like, sacrifice some women.
Yeah. But maybe she knows Maomao's good.
Maybe.
Maybe.
So either Maomao never showed up back at the Jade Pavilion, and so Gyokyo let Jinshi know that she's missing. Or he got a ransom note from Siri. Yes. Because her goal is still to recheck my phone.
We have to check the phone. Not you.
or he got a ransom note because her goal is still ultimately to get him out of the way.
Yes.
And his mom was right. You got to keep your favorites hidden or else they're going to be taken from you.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what happened. Wow. I just love, and I knew it the entire time we've been watching the season. I'm like, they're setting this up. Like, it feels slow right now. It feels like a slice of life because they're just, like, laying down the foundation.
Yes.
And now that we're seeing it all come together, it's just so exciting. It's so fun.
It really is fun to see all the pieces fall into place.
And we still need to see, like, how the Western envoys, like, come into play, too, with the bigger picture.
True.
So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the whole thing. I don't think there was a preview for the next episode.
I don't remember if there was. I didn't stay to watch it.
Okay. I tried. I just hit skip end credits and I didn't see. So hold on. Let me just very quickly. Let's just double check. Okay, there is. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Oh. The Fox Village?
Bro. Okay, you guys all need to go watch that right now.
Okay. There is a preview for the next episode. Okay.
And there is a Jinshi hand clench.
The
fist clench.
Yeah. The fist clench. Okay, so he's looking for Maomao. He's teamed up with her dad. We see Shisui.
I just had the thought that we need to put the Mr. Darcy hand flex and the Jinshi.
Hell
hand,
yeah.
And we're like,
hell yeah.
20th anniversary of Pride and Prejudice goes hard.
That's so funny. And that's so relevant because I watched that last night and I literally got a clip of the hand flex in the theater.
That's funny.
Okay. Oh, it's called the Fox Village. That's going to be important because I'm pretty sure that they called Locken the Fox.
Okay.
And also the masks that are in the opening credits are fox masks. So that's important.
Thank you for those of you who explained what that was to us.
Yes.
In the comments.
We don't have access to Google, so that was really important. I'm just cut that out.
She hates when people comment.
I don't. I love it when people comment. I just felt stupid because I hadn't gotten around to looking it up before the comments.
I'm glad they did my work for me. I'm appreciative.
So, okay, Foxville. Oh, everyone's worried about Maomao. I think that's basically going to be the whole episode. Everyone's going to be looking at her. There's a snake involved, and we did see.
And Shisui's happy about the snake. It looked like.
Assuming that that's what she was reacting to.
Yeah, but that's what they want us to think from the preview.
Yeah, that's what they want us to think. Oh, and they have the cat.
Yes.
So.
Catnip.
Exactly. So.
I'm excited.
Yeah. I'm excited. How many more episodes do you think we have?
8.
Really?
Isn't it 12 a core? And
yeah. And how many?
And we're at 40, so 8 more. 48.
You're right. That is math. That is
we'll
how
have
math
4
works.
cores.
That is how math works. Sorry, I just saw 40 and I was like, oh, so we're almost done.
I had the same thought, and then I was like, wait, how many would there be? And I was like, oh, 8. That sounds like not that many, but that's still 2 months.
That's 8 weeks.
Yeah.
8 episodes, not a lot. 8 weeks, that's crazy.
Exactly.
Okay, excellent. We got plenty of time, guys.
Yay!
Yay!
And we have some fun news for this week.
We do? Yes, this Wednesday is the last day of April.
Yeah.
And we have a additional bonus review for you guys.
Yay, we're back to 2 episodes a week.
Just
for 1 week only.
For 1 week and 1 week only. We'll be reviewing in honor of April, Your Lie in April.
Yay, and we watched the whole thing.
Yeah, we watched the whole thing. Becca binged it.
I did.
And I was just doing an annual rewatch because that's tradition.
So tune in to see if rewatching Your Lie in April every April is actually necessary or not. I think that's kind of
that's the question.
That's really the question, right?
Maybe.
Is this worth it being a cult classic every year thing? Okay.
And so yeah, that'll be out on Wednesday, and then actually next Monday we won't have another Apothecary Diaries review. We will be having.
This is the worst time for us to do this. Such a cliffhanger.
Yeah, actually, that does kind of suck.
That's crazy.
But that just makes the next Apothecary Diaries review that we do, that's going to go hard. That's going to go crazy.
Yes.
So I'm going to be on vacation for my 2nd wedding anniversary.
Yay!
But that means me and Becca won't get to record. Mm-hmm. But we did do a little anime first impressions.
Yep.
Of Anne of Green Gables anime.
And Shirley.
So
there will still be an episode next Monday. It just won't be an Apothecary Diaries recap. Mm-hmm. So lots of fun stuff. We have today's recap, and then Girly and April on Wednesday, and then next Monday Anne Shirley.
And then the Monday after that will be an extra long Apothecary Diaries review covering the episodes that we missed.
Oh, I'm so excited.
So yeah, crazy couple of weeks. We hope you enjoy these episodes. And we will see you on Wednesday.
Bye.
Anime for Blondes.